Today's Monday, it's the 9th of December 2024, and we're back in Palma. It's been long since we were here. In fact, we were standing more or less on this very spot on Saturday afternoon, evening, when we came in to have a look at the lights. Well, today Anita's going shopping, and I'm going to have a look at the Baleares, the nativity scenes that are dotted around the city. So let's get going. We started in Plaza España. There's a stage up here. Chairs have been blown over or knocked over, I don't know, maybe they're supposed to be on the side. It's been very windy over the weekend, and you might see the floor's wet. It's been raining. We had some quite heavy rain, Anita said, last night, and then a little bit of a shower this morning, but it seems to be clearing up now, and we've got some blue sky up above, so hopefully it's going to be a little bit better. One thing that's really noticeable is the temperature. It does feel a lot cooler, temperature's supposed to be maxing out at around about 13 degrees Celsius today, so you'll see lots of people with their big coats on because it's cold. Anita's going out with Yvonne this morning, and I'll be going on my little walk. It's a Monday, so I probably won't go into the market, but I will be going into various places. See how bright the sun is, to see different Baleares. Hopefully that'll work for us today. Just going past the church, doors open, and it's a place where they hand out things like bread to those in need. It's one of the really good things that the church does here. This particular church, every morning, has a queue of people waiting to go in. My apologies if the sun's blurring away in front of you.
Apologise for the sun, darling.
Apologise for the sun. But it is so it'll all dry up very quickly, the rain that came down. So we were not very sure about whether to come in on the bus or drive in. I had a bit of an issue with buses and public transport in general over this weekend because of the strikes that have been on. So we chose to come in by car. Also, if the weather's not so good, it means we've got a little bit of a refuge and we don't have to walk that last little leg to the house and get wet. Hopefully the rain will keep off for us. Weather forecast said something like between 10 and 20% chance of rain. So very good. There's the Oliver Market over there. I'm just walking past.
Should be coming in there soon.
You going in there this morning?
Yeah.
I need to be going in.
Parsnips.
Parsnips.
And MasterChef, they were doing a lot with parsnips. She made a carrot cake with parsnips.
Interesting. We actually did some parsnips yesterday as well. But
they were delicious.
The way I did them was to cut them into fingers, drizzle them with a little bit of olive oil, put them in the microwave for about 4 or 5 minutes.
Why did you put them in there first?
Because I find if I put them in the air fryer, which is what I did afterwards, it seems to take ages, and they need that little bit of extra help to cook. So putting them in the microwave just cooks them, and then put them in the air fryer for about 10 minutes, I think.
And they were delicious.
And they were delicious. Yeah, really nice.
With some sprouts.
And sprouts just straight in the air fryer. Anita bought some sprouts. She just peeled them, and we put them in just again with a little bit of olive oil, and about 10-12 minutes, just keep looking at them until they're done, and they were absolutely delicious. So we had those with
our beetroot soup.
A beetroot soup, which I made, and really, we've done beetroot soup before. I can't remember whether I've done a video of it, so If I haven't, next time I'll do a video of beetroot soup.
Beetroot and lentil.
It was beetroot and lentils. We'll put some carrots in there because we've got some carrots. And that's really tasty, really nice. So normally we'd come in on the bus when we come into Palma, and this is where our bus stop is, just down here. And it's where we meet Yvonne, who's standing there under a tree, under an arch. It's a Christmas arch. And we'll have a coffee with her before we go off in our separate directions. There she is. I just had a lovely coffee with Yvonne, and they're going to go off and do their shopping. And well, I'm going to have a look around Palma, and then I'm going to see if I can find some Baleares. Well, that's the way we came down, so I'm actually going to go back a different way. I'm going to go up Sindicato. You can imagine this looks quite nice when it's all lit up. So the public transport is on strike, and there's our bus over there, look. They're on strike, but they have to provide a minimal service, which is something like 50-60% on most routes, and at different times of the day the percentage goes up that they have to provide, and on certain routes they have to provide a full service, such as the ones that go to the hospital. There has to be a service then. So when they say they're going on strike, it's a little bit of a toss-up whether it's going to be coming or not, the bus. So we didn't risk it today. This is Sindicato, and this is not the way I usually walk up Sindicato. I'm usually walking in the opposite direction. But, shops are all opening up now. It's opening up time. What time is it? 10:30. Things start a bit later here in Mallorca. A shop called Nottingham. Nottingham makes me think of Robin Hood, and I spent yesterday editing a Richard Green episode of Robin Hood, which I'm going to give a little presentation to the Masons, and quite like that particular one. This is an embroidery machine in action over there. Fascinating they are. When I used to have the embroidery business, I used to set the machine going. I must have done it 1,000 times and more. And it always amazed me, always fascinated me how that machine could do such clever, intricate work to produce the embroideries. And how rapid it does it as well, hundreds of stitches per minute. Photo bricks. Photo bricks used to be one of the camera shops in the town. They just don't exist anymore. People don't have cameras in the same way. Although I was reading an article this morning to say that compact cameras are actually making something of a comeback. People like to have these proper cameras. It's starting to rain, by the way. Oh dear, wasn't expecting this. Hopefully it'll be a shower that will just pass over.
Well, you wouldn't, would you? Candid, obviously.
just a little shower by the looks of things. Just to the right here, this is Plaza Mayor. The market stalls there already open, and lots of the market stalls there where they have the figures and the scenes for the Baleares that hopefully we're going to get to look at. And there's well, there are three that I'm aiming for. As I've walked down here, I actually changed my mind this morning on where I'm actually going to go to first, because we're quite close to Plaza Court. That's where I'm going to make my start. Plaza Court is where the town hall is, the Ayuntamiento, and they always have a Belén, a nativity scene, and it's always one of the most popular ones. Now I'm hoping that 10:30 on a Monday it's going to be fairly quiet. Well, we'll see. Different ways of getting to Plaza Court, and one of them is down here. This is a more pedestrianised little street.
And some people say it's unrealistic.
Shop's called Cannabis Street. Just trying to keep out. There isn't a lot of rain. It's just little spots of rain. Hillary and June.
Pero no.
When it rains like this, one of the hazards is that the roads become, the pavements become very slippy. I've just seen a young lady slip over, which makes me very nervous. It's one thing I do worry about a little bit, is slipping. Unfortunately, we don't get ice here, so don't have that particular concern. But we do get rain like this, and the surface is such that they're quite often slippy. These stones there that cars are driving, they become very smooth. This is Santa Eulalia. And maybe we'll get to go to this church over the Christmas period for their concert. It's one of the highlights of the Christmas time. Go to the church. The church, I'm guessing, is open. This is Plaza de Santa Eulalia. Busy little plaza, lots of deliveries. And there's the church. Well, I'm not going to do that today because I said I was going to go to Plaza Court, and this is Plaza Court in front of us now. Again, entering from a different angle than normal. Just don't really walk around in this direction. And Plaza Court is somewhere that we sometimes go on New Year's Eve. We certainly haven't thought that far ahead yet, so I'm not sure what we're doing on New Year's Eve, but quite often we'll come into Palma and congregate with thousands of other people, as close as we can get to Plaza Court. and it's where the clock is that chimes. Oh my goodness, there's a big school group going in to see the Baleares. Am I going to get in there before them? No, I'm not. They've beat me to it. Well, I've really enjoyed the Baleares, the nativity scene here in Plaza Court and the Ayuntamiento, and the children that were in front of me, they were enjoying it too. I'm now going to carry on my walk, and well, let's get going. This is the Plaza Court, and I'm going to cross over here. The tree there, the olive tree, is an ancient tree, but it hasn't always been there. I'd always thought it had been, but it hasn't. So I have actually seen photographs taken many, many years ago, and the tree was not there. It was actually transplanted and moved there some time ago. It's a newish shop called I Love Mallorca, and has all things to celebrate Mallorca. However, just down here, the more important shop, which is actually closed, is RCD Mallorca. That's the official store for the football club, which is here in Palma. We tend to use the one which is actually at the ground when we go and buy things. And just opposite it, I must show you this because it's really a lovely piece of architecture. Not that, but this building here. I just find that really quite a beautiful piece of stonework. And just like any stonework, it needs a little bit of TLC at the top there, and they're doing some work. I'm going to move up in this direction, heading towards Plaza Mayor, which is one of the places we visited on Saturday. We didn't come down here. You can see there's lots of light, obviously not on now. Lots of nice little offshoot streets you can go down. I don't think there's any shops down that one. And this is the Barcelona. I won't mention Barcelona, they beat us 5-1 the other day. And then we went and lost against Celta Vigo, which wasn't so good. Anyway, we've got another match coming up this weekend on Saturday, and hopefully we can turn things around. Lots of work going on here. I wasn't expecting this, but this is the time of year to do the work really before the season starts. Some serious work going on right there. There's a few spots of rain, nothing very much. Anyone who wanted to know where Anita gets her parasols, I think the last couple of them have been brought in this shop, which sells parasols, fans, umbrellas, paraguas and castanets. So another one that's typically Spanish Mallorquin. And there are the umbrellas which we might be needing today. Anita did say before we came out, shall we take the umbrella? I said, oh no, it's only 20% chance of rain. Well, I think she's okay so far. And if you come to Palma, just explore these old streets. It's just pleasant to walk around. You can't really get lost. You just keep going and enjoy what's going on around you. So behind me is the cathedral and the sea. In front of me is Plaza Mayor, and then onwards to San Miguel, and eventually to Plaza España. Another beautiful building as far as architecture is concerned. This is one that many tourists will stop and take photographs of. Very Gaudi-ish, but beautiful. And right in front of us we've got Plaza Mayor. That's Sindicato. That's the road down there that I walked. I sometimes refer to it as Sindicat and sometimes Sindicato. It's the difference between the Catalan and the Spanish. And when we were here on Saturday, it was all nicely lit up, and you can see these two Christmas trees on either side of the entrance to Plaza Mayor really do look very pretty when they're lit up, as do all of the lights when you get into the plaza. So Saturday's video has all of the market stalls, lots of photos. I did take quite a few photos while we were here. So they're tagged on at the end.
Now back to
Workmen are out doing some repair work. A lot of the stones actually here that we're walking on are actually cracked and broken, so this is in need of some TLC. I'm going to go straight through Plaza Mayor. Go out. I'm not going to go Sindicato Bay. Sorry, that's San Miguel. I'm going to go out this way and go up Via Roma. Because the next Belen that I want to go to is at the top of Via Roma. In Misericordia. We'll be coming back into Palma at least once before Christmas, probably a couple of times. But Anita's going back to England to accompany Serena back and her family. They're all coming to join us for Christmas, so we'll have a rather lovely time. Look, the sky looks really quite pretty. Where those showers came from, I don't know. I'll go down the steps, but there is a lift if you need it. And I'll catch up with you when I get to the bottom. And just a little pause here, halfway down the steps now. That's Via Roma, and that's where one of the market areas are. I'm not going to video that because I did that on Saturday, and it looks much more pretty with all the lights on. So I'll catch up with you when I get to the other side of the Via Roma. I've just walked the length of the Via Roma, and so I'm just at the top near to the Misericordia, which is where I'm heading now, and hopefully be able to see the Belen, the nativity scene that's there. Calle Olmos, Dels Oms, is where I would normally come down, and then this is the Misericordia here. I'm not sure exactly where the Belen is, so we need to discover that. At the top entrance, which is by the General Hospital, there is a big plaza where they have concerts and shows and Christmas market, which I don't know whether we've missed that or whether we can still catch it. But this is the entrance to Misericordia, and again there's a library here. And a nice park. And some benches where you can sit. And a library there. There's also something to visit here called the Aljibe, which is like a water storage tank. Which it's very interesting, very dark. I have done a video there, but it's very nice, very pretty. and worth a visit. And I guess it's not on most people's list of places to visit. We've got their Christmas decorations in the garden here, and there's various sculptures here in the park. This is another entrance gate, and there's a clinic there, hospital. I think this is the way we go to get into the Baleares. And we've got some concerts as well going on here, so this little thing, we walk up the ramp. It's very wet, so I'm hoping it's not slippy. Actually, it doesn't feel slippy, so I feel okay. That's the park I've just walked through. We're at the top of the Ramblas, or Via Roma. Another little park area, and there's a little stage here, and the Christmas tree. Well, hopefully I'm going to go in here, and then I'll include the Baleares in a separate video, so catch up with you when I've been through. Well, that was definitely worth doing, and on my way out I've been given some examples of the cutouts that we can do with the paper, so that's something the girls can actually try. And the gentleman who's at the door was telling me that on the 14th at 5 o'clock in the afternoon there's actually a live Baleares with real people, so that will be taking place down in the garden just over here, and I can hear lots of children again. So I don't know, try to get into that. I'm not sure we'll be able to. It's looking a very busy day. In fact, I know we can't come, it's a football match, but certainly if you're around, well worth a visit. Well, that was a really nice Baleares, and the added attraction was to go and see the aljibe, which is, it's very interesting, very dark. It's a water storage tank. It's where they collect all the rainwater, and historically that's how they used to get their water. They used to store them in tanks underneath their buildings. So our house, for example, has got various wells dotted around. Some work, some don't. They're not real wells, they're just tanks. And the bigger buildings have these like a cellar, which is there really just to catch the rainwater. So that's the Ramblas down there, and behind me that's Clínica Roger, which is the hospital I mentioned earlier on. But I'm going to head in this direction. That's the Avenidas and the Instituto. Bodega La Rambla. We've never been there. It's got to be somewhere on our list of places to go. So the school children are definitely out in numbers today, visiting all of the different Baleares, different age groups as well. So the group I've just seen were quite a bit older, and they were looking at how to do these paper cutouts for decorations. So I'm guessing they're going to be back at school practicing what they've learnt later on. There's a big school just up here on the left hand side. I'm actually walking towards Plaza Patines. Patines are roller skates, and there is a plaza here dedicated to roller skates. How cool is that? It's actually, I think, changed a little bit of its character over the years. It does have a car park underneath it, and the school just to the left there. Starting to hear the children out playing. The street cleaners are clearing all the leaves that have come down, so we've got a blower blowing the leaves into the street, and then we've got a street cleaning machine coming and sucking them all up. But this is Plaza Patines, the usual coffee shops here on the right, and you can see the cars coming in and out of the car park. I'll get into the square in a moment. They sometimes have a market in the square. I'm not sure what days it's on. A little fruit and veg type market. Very bright sunshine. And so this is the little plaza, but the thing that changed over the years is actually that part there is the patines part, the roller skating part. I'm going to have to walk around to get to it. I'm not going to walk over the grass, it's a bit muddy today. And there's a little children's park, and so I think all of these are new additions since we arrived on the island. I can't remember them being there originally. And they've been cutting down the trees. It's good. I'll just take you up a few steps here and you can see the area for patina. I wasn't sure whether there'd be anyone in here. There's no one actually. So it's got a nice smooth surface. And you quite often see people roller skating here. Some of them quite artistically, as though they were doing their figure skating on ice. But nobody here today. Just looking at the roots on this tree, aren't they amazing? The restaurant here is one of the old restaurants of Palma. We have done at least one video from there. I think during lockdown we came. It wasn't too successful. It's called Sela Sapremsa, and it's basically a place you would go normally at lunchtime. But they did open, occasionally open in the evening. It does get very busy, very noisy, and at this time of the year they'll probably be having end-of-year parties for different businesses. This is a uniform shop. I'm going to go up the next one. So people who've got businesses will come here and get their uniforms. This was the business I was in, I suppose. So whether it's a restaurant or a dentist or whatever. That's the school. Parts of Palma now that I've never really done that on a video this way, so it's somewhat different. I seem to remember going to a clinic up here once, maybe this building, not sure. The reason I'm coming up today is just to show you a building just in front on the right. Not this one, but this one's an interesting one. This is a papeleria. It's got all different things paper-wise, stationers, that's the word I'm trying to think of. Cross over here. This is a government building that looks as though they're not using it anymore. So that looks like a redundant government building. Here in the middle of Palma. Cross over again. Yeah, so the building I wanted to show you was the one on the right here, this one. Everyone's favourite building. Well, maybe, or maybe not. This is Hacienda. Delegación Hacienda. It's the tax office. It's the place that does all the taxes. And I think I may have been through the door once. It's not necessary to go there anymore to do tax declarations. Not that I have ever done them like that. And I think I did have to go once. Can't remember what for. Back in the last century. Tax declarations are done every year by pretty much everybody of a working age, or even retired for that matter. I think it's obligatory for anyone who has earnings above about 14,000 euros a year, or less if you've got your money coming from two different sources. So if you have two part-time jobs and you still only earn 10,000 euros, you still have to do a declaración, and they're filled in typically in the springtime, and when you get to the bottom of the form, you either pay them or they pay you. And the form is actually quite complicated, quite detailed. It's a tax form, and I must say, when we came to the island the first year, maybe the second year, I did them by hand. There was two different versions of it you could get. One's called the simple version, which is the one I tried to do, and there was a more complete version as well. Anyway, since then I managed to get an accountant to do them for us, so we've always had an accountant sorting out our tax forms, and particularly that when you have a business, and I simply carried on that afterwards. It's a lot easier to do with an accountant. It means you're not going to make so many mistakes. This is a hostel, 2 stars. And if you make mistakes, they can be expensive, because not only do they claim the money that you owe, they also fine you and charge you interest as well. So you need to get it right. So I'm walking towards San Miguel. San Miguel, the road that leads from Plaza Mayor, and Plaza España is off to the left. We're in that direction. My sort of shop here, this is FNAC, and Adolfo was telling me he'd been visiting FNAC in Madrid, which is a big store. It sells things like books, records, CDs, but it also sells electronic stuff as well, and cameras and anything techie really. Not one I go to very often though. It's relatively new to Palma, probably in the last 10 years, maybe less, I don't know. Just looking at the buildings on the other side with their terraces, car turning round. And this is the Residencia San Miguel. big place. Used to be a military. I'm not sure whether it's just military anymore. I think it's for anyone. It's my residence here, I mean like an old people's home. And here we are at the centre, the military centre, cultural centre, which has got the Baleares. So I'm going to go in here and have a look at them, see what's on for today. It's free entrance and it's looking a bit different already. Well, I've just managed to go around most of the exhibition there and then discovered that it was not actually open to the public yet, though it's advertised as being open. But I did actually get more or less all the way around. So I found that very interesting. I'll put that in a separate video because they're all separate little things. And so I've done 3 different Baleares today. I've done the first one was Plaza Court, second one was Misericordia, and then the one at the Cultural Centre for the Armed Forces. Just at the top of Calle Olmos. And the road there leads down to Villaroma, the Ramblas, and I'm going off to the left here into Plaza España. Things coming to life now in Palma. The street sellers are out. Cafes are opening up slowly. Well, the rain's now stopped, so I can put the chairs and the cushions out. I think I've been waiting for that. And we're back in Plaza España. Well, I think I've finished my bit of the walk and I'm going to go and see if I can find Anita now. So if I don't see you again, bye for now and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye. Well, I found Anita and she's been shopping. She's got lots of lovely things, including nice parsnips, and she particularly wanted to do a Flanagan and Allen. Yeah, underneath the arches, you know that one. Anyway, we're going to make our way home now, so thanks very much for watching and look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.